Let's unbox a brand new Rolex Daytona. It's Adam here from adaminsights.com, and as well as being a full-on camera collector and gear nerd, I'm also a watch collector. And a few days ago, I was lucky enough to be able to purchase this brand new Rolex Cosmograph Daytona at retail from my local Rolex Authorised Dealer. And it was only a 3-week wait from when I initially inquired about the watch. It is more than possible to buy any Rolex watch you want at retail from your local Rolex AD without a big wait. If you want to learn more about how I've been able to do that, check out the link in the description where I go into more detail. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into the unboxing of this wonderful Rolex watch. This is the outer box, and it's actually a brand new design. So about 4 years ago I purchased a Yachtmaster 2, which is my daily wear from an authorized dealer, and at that time the outer box was a pale green color, and it had a subtle but much larger embossed Rolex logo on there. It now seems that Rolex has moved to this darker green, a bit of a different textured material, and they've got this foil print of the Rolex logo on there, on the front. So let's just start opening it up. It is interesting how they've changed the packaging several times over the years. I think at one stage they also had like a wooden mahogany box as well. And this is something else which I've noticed compared to the boxes that their watches came out in a few years ago. Previously, these waves were very smooth. Now it seems they've moved to quite jagged or sharp style designs. And also the Rolex logo on there has become larger as well. So we'll just open up the front lip. That remains similar to what it was a few years ago. Okay, and here's the moment, guys. So I'm probably not going to wear this watch. In fact, I'm not going to wear it. It's only going to be an exhibition piece as a part of my watch collection. And there we go. A beautiful two-tone Rolex Cosmograph Daytona. This particular one is 18 karat gold fused with Rolex Oystersteel. At 40mm, it's a little bit smaller than the 44mm Yachtmaster 2. It is also, what I've noticed, much skinnier. In fact, it's basically as skinny as a Datejust. So that's really technically impressive. It's quite an engineering marvel for what it is. I love the high gloss gold on here, fused with the brushed steel for the strap, and also the polished steel and highly polished gold on the watch itself. It's an absolutely stunning combination of colors and design. I quite like the solid gold face with the dark rings for the chronograph timers. The design of it is absolutely lovely. And we've got the really nice arrowhead seconds counter on there as well, and the sword style hands. So the pushers and the winding crown are all in 18 karat gold as well. And here's a really interesting thing about the pushers for the Daytona. So as with the Yachtmaster 2, by comparison, if you want to activate the Cosmograph or the countdown stopwatch, whatever you want to call it, on your watch, with the Yachtmaster, you just push the button and it starts counting. With the Daytona, you actually have to unscrew the pushers in order to use them. So I don't know if that means that there's a different level of water resistance between Yachtmaster 2 and Daytona, because it is recommended that you never use the chronograph when you're in water. So I guess maybe there is something different there with the waterproofing. It's also the Omega Speedmaster, which is really Omega's version of the Daytona, you don't actually have to unscrew the pushers in order to use its chronograph. So I'll just give you another quick look here. I love the unit counter that's on the bezel as well. As I say, I have no intention of wearing this watch. This is a collector's piece, and it'll remain as an exhibition piece as a part of my collection. Maybe if I get myself a steel one in the future, I'll wear that. But at the same time, I've really loved having the Yachtmaster 2 as my daily wear. So what else do we get in the box? Well, as well as the little cushion that the watch sits on, we get the tags, the swing tags, and just behind here we get the manual. Very much standard format for Rolex's manuals. Let's have a quick look through. Wearing the watch for the first time, winding it up. Contents. And the introduction to the watch itself. So, Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona. The Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona is the benchmark for those with a passion for driving and speed. Of legendary reliability, this model features a center chronograph seconds hand, 30-minute and 12-hour counters, and a tachymetric bezel. It is the instrument of choice for measuring elapsed time for calculating average speed. The dial offers exceptional legibility thanks to its chromolite display elements filled with a high-performance luminescent material. And then we've really just got the rest of the manual here. The Yachtmaster 2 had a little bit more information about yacht racing in there, which was interesting to read. I'm surprised that there isn't a little bit more background interesting to read information in the Daytona's manual, but there we go. So I'll just drop that back. And here in the leatherette pouch we have the guarantee manual for worldwide service, and on the back, just covering up my serial, there's my warranty card with the purchase date on there as well. Something that is actually very good to know about these particular guarantee cards is that they now include a encrypted NFC chip that you can scan with your smartphone. It's really great to know, because then it's something that the watch cloners haven't been able to figure out how to get around. So if you've got if you're looking at a watch and it's got your watch's serial matching on the card, and then you scan the NFC chip in the card of your smartphone, and you're taken to a landing page on Rolex's website, then you know that currently your watch your watch is genuine with a genuine card. It's a really great, useful piece of information to know, and can give you confidence, especially if you are actually looking at purchasing something like that second hand. Okay, so we'll just set this one back, and we'll have another quick look at the watch. It's a wonderful piece of engineering and a beautiful piece of design, with the steel and the 18-karat gold all fused together. Watches like this don't lose their value, they hold, in fact they increase in value, but this is going to be an absolutely wonderful piece to have on display as a part of my watch collection. It's going to be a real privilege to own this, and I'm really happy that I've been able to get a hold of it.